Yabba dabba doo. Dick Ritchie's in the house. Maui? Not touching Maui today. Just gonna stay off that topic for a day. I think everybody is suspecting conspiracy theories on that whole thing. Everybody. So you got to step away when everybody's starting to feel as creepy as it feels, as it seems. Man, what if we were to find out that that was lasers? That was a practice. Like there's some kind of internal, like our government's selling us out and they're going to take us out. Assume all the premier properties, assume all the premier positions and roles, assume all the premier everything, and let the rest just trickle. Wouldn't that be crazy? That'd be a good story. You know, and the government's just, you know, Maui was a practice. They're like, okay, here's what we could take away from this, people. Maui was a success. Yes, we can burn down a whole city in like Maui, and they don't even know that we did it with lasers. At least they didn't know until it was too late. What do we do next? LA? Portland? Seattle? New York? Houston? Chicago? Detroit? You know, I think there's a conspiracy theory out there on smart towns that they want to turn into smart towns. Where, like, I guess people are plugged in and everything's smart. There's no privacy, probably. I mean, there doesn't feel like there's privacy now. I'm out in the country in Indiana, and I feel like somebody might be watching me, at least on my cell phone right now. My camera's turned on. If I was a person of interest right now, they could be watching me do this video before I even post it. Now, okay, that's swirling of craziness runs in a paranoid brain, you know? So you got to watch out. You got to control that, people, because I think there's a lot of us out there that tend to feel paranoid. And we're made to feel like if we do feel paranoid that we are bad. They've made paranoid people crazy. Now, what if they did some kind of testing on paranoia to find out that, just like on conspiracy theories, that maybe a lot of them are true, are real, and the paranoia isn't such a negative or a flaw. It might actually be intuitive. You never know. But they're not going to advertise those people, you know, that said, hey, you know, we really raked that guy across the coals for so many years because, you know, we called him a conspiracy theorist, said he was crazy, said he didn't know anything, treated him like he was nuts, you know, blah, 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 tinfoil hat. But let's talk about the fact that 80% of his conspiracies were true. And the other ones that were not true were really close. And we're not that far off. Weren't unrealistic like we made him out to be. Maybe that's happening to people, especially like the people that have the really good, you know, they got the real good tickers and they're being spelled. I mean, I don't want to say Alex Jones, but like, so let's say anybody up there, because they're trying to pin down on Joe Rogan. Because Joe Rogan has, you know, he's got a lot of people saying, hey, check this out. And it's educating them every day, you know, for content. Say, check this out. Do you want to talk about this? I guarantee you. And they're saying, hey, did you know in Antarctica this is happening? And he'd be like, I got to put that on my show. Yeah, he's got that. He's got people scrubbing, scouring the internet for great stories, most interesting things. Pass it past my desk. Break it down in the top 10 what you got to offer today, folks. Here, we're going to talk. Maybe you should talk about this, Joe. This guy in Indiana reviews knives. Yeah. And he also talks about news and anything else that he thinks is cool. And he's a paranoid son of a bitch. But man, every once in a while, he really hits it on the nail. Hits it on the head. Maybe he's going to be like, give me that Indiana, but what's his name? And you say, Dick Ritchie. Yep. Me and Joe Rogan go toe-to-toe. And you think about that. Say you're the guy across the table from Joe Rogan someday. What are you going to say that is of any interest to the country, to the world? What would I have to say that when they say, did you see that Joe Rogan episode? That guy didn't know shit. He was so uninteresting. He didn't have facts. He didn't bring anything to the table. He was just some big fat Bert Kreischer lookalike that kept his shirt on. And didn't laugh at everything Joe said. Well, they're right there. Right there. What? The guy sat there and he might have said something funny every once in a while. Heard something funny every once in a while, but didn't bust out into belly cracking laughs, because that's what they all do. They're like, I accept you. I think you're great. I'm going to laugh at stupid shit. I'm just going to laugh, laugh, laugh. You're going to be like, oh, this guy thinks I'm great. Look at him laughing at me. Because that's what they do. These radio shows, they just all sit in a room and laugh at each other. And the shit ain't even funny. They just, I got up my car, and I turned the key, and it started, and I came to work, and everybody, and they're like, and I'm like, what did he even say? He went to work, drove his car, turned his key. But then people just hear the laughter. Maybe they just need to hear the laughter. But yeah, Maui, man, okay. I'm going to give you the one conspiracy thing coming from Maui that's driving me the craziest. And it's the laser stuff. It's the melted cars. It's like you have all these dissimilar objects. You have melting car, you have aluminum, steel, molted. You have which burns at about 1200 degrees. Then you have asphalt. Asphalt melts at 350 degrees. I'm talking Fahrenheit. And then you have the fact that there are supposedly people incinerated, which requires 2,000 to 3,000 degrees. So you had the Sheriff Pelletier stating that they're sifting through ashes of people. So these people were incinerated by a fire. And they're in materials that weren't incinerated, that incinerated at a less degree temperature. Yeah. So in order to incinerate a human body to nothing, to ash, you got to be at 2,000 to 3,000 degrees. There wouldn't even be a shape of a car if people were incinerated inside the car. Incinerated. I'm talking bones, everything, people. It's pretty gnarly. None of those numbers are lining up because you have fully intact asphalt, you have blue umbrellas, blue roofs, blue cars. Yeah, blue. They're even doing like testing, laser testing now, where they show you going across different colors and it burned every color but the blue. Yeah.